what's the factor that needs to be different for the regime to topple? Okay, so really crucial. There have been videos circulating on Instagram. The algorithm is pushing this for whatever reason, of monarchists saying that Mossad is involved and Mossad is on the ground, and it's important if one is looking to support the people, it's important to remember that that narrative does not help the people, because by and large the people on the ground want to do this on their own. Outside help kind of minimizes the effort and allows for regime propaganda to say that, oh, this is all instigated by bad actors. We saw the Iranian president say on an interview on the Supreme Leader's website that we're at a full-scale war with the US, Israel, and Europe. They brought Europe into it as well, which I thought was interesting. And that's kind of preemptively saying, well, whatever way we need to respond because we're under attack. However, it's also a way for them to say these protests are not legitimate because people are inciting them. That's not true.
We were talking about this earlier, and I was asking you, wouldn't it just be easier for the United States to have regime change in Iran by supporting an uprising rather than by bombing Iran, which is the other thing that's happened this year? Obviously, Israel and the United States have been bombing Iran this year. And you were explaining why that probably wasn't the case for the reasons you've just said, really.
Yeah, but also, regime change, when the US has been involved with regime change, it hasn't gone well. Also, if you're going to back a regime change, who's going to replace the regime? None of those, that doesn't really serve the US well. But also, over the summer, people were saying, well, the Americans and the Israelis are providing they're clearing the way, and they're providing for the people a way for the people to go into the streets and take back their country and topple the regime. Well, if bombs are falling overhead, why would a sane person go out and protest and topple the regime? Like that just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And so Trump was asked if if the US was going to do anything about Iran, and Trump did mention that. He said this is a brutal regime and they shoot people when they go out and try to protest against them.